Hi guys, Darren from Venom Fluid Art.
With Bubbles.
Who?
Bubbles.
Can't forget Bubbles.
Because I won't let you.
Funny I did.
I know, right? Bit rude of you. So we are back to swiping.
Swiping.
Yes.
Part 2.
Part 2 of our swiping.
Right, so we're going to ramp it up a bit today and see what goes on.
Well, what we're going to do is get out the old-fashioned playing card.
Perfect for beginners to play with.
Absolutely. I had my first love with my Joker.
You did.
And I don't know what ended up happening to it, but I was going to keep it and frame it.
I hit it.
But playing cards, really cool. Cheap, effective. Like, how many do you get for $2?
Lots. Everybody wants to be king for the day.
No, I'm going to be the queen of clubs.
Queen of clubs?
So if you don't behave yourself, I'm clubbing you.
Oh, king club, yeah.
Oh.
Nah, trumped.
Trumped.
Ooh.
I see what you did there.
Are you allowed to say that? Trumped.
I'm not sure.
Whatever.
I probably wouldn't.
Anywho.
So, I'm going to ignore you now. I'm just going to splat some colour down.
Okay, so you've got a little 4 or 5 inch hexagonal tile there that we're going to use.
Yep.
Pillow paint is the British Paints Low Sheen interior wall paint here in Australia.
That has been spun out.
That has been fully spun out. Nothing's added to it. It's just straight out of the tin.
And into my sauce bottle.
It'll be interesting to see how it works today because it is ridiculously warm in here.
We have hit summer in the second week of spring.
Yeah.
Not that Bubbles is complaining. She loves the heat.
Yes. And the room that we're in has a tin roof, which really makes it worse.
It definitely heightens the heat.
So, random colours.
Yep. Just whatever I got my hands on.
Cool.
I just went closest to me and I'm doing some big splobs, some little splobs and some splashes.
Cool. Mix it up.
Nothing technical about this laying down of the paint.
Not at all by the looks of that.
And it's not, not done for any specific reason. I just like splashing. Alright. I think one more colour.
Yep.
Need to brighten it up again.
Ooh.
Because I'm going to use a black CA.
Yep.
And I've got some dark colours going on there.
I see.
So if I want my colours to pop,
You need to brighten it up.
I need a bit of light on top to do that. Because that's a lot of things that you got to take into consideration too, is what colour you lay down last before you use what colour CA.
Yeah.
Can make all the difference from something looking bland to, oh my god.
Even layering different colours from transparent, semi-transparent, semi-opaque, and opaque.
Yep.
Make a difference to the end result in how you layered them.
Absolutely.
Which we'll show in a later video.
We'll get to that.
It's part of the series, so...
Because Bubbles is oblivious half the time and just grabs anything. But it is definitely good to know.
It is. Having said that, with a bloom or a swipe, you can really get away with anything goes.
I've proved that for the last year.
Many, many times.
Alright, so we have our Queen of Spades.
Clubs?
I said clubs. It is, oh my god. Yep. Go Bubbles.
Alright, so the selector we...
Now I got you going.
I know, right? Anywho,
Moving right along.
the cell activator we are using is Amsterdam Oxide Black mixed with Australian Floetrol at a ratio of 3 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint.
And that is what I got.
Yeah, so you just put it on the edge of the card.
Yep. And it's like with this heat.
It shrinks back on the card.
So I'm just going to freshen that. Look at that. It's fighting me.
You know you're going to get cells if it shrinks back.
Absolutely. Not always a bad thing. So, get my slide angle. And Bubbles hasn't done this for about 8 months.
Yeah. At least. Ooh, so delicious.
Now, with this CA too, because we have done it a bit thicker because obviously it's getting stinking hot.
Yep.
This is where you got to have that little bit of patience.
Which is another reason why we're using the Floetrol in the cell activator as well.
Absolutely.
It
Everything changes with temperature.
absolutely it does. So
And that's one thing people don't take into consideration. A lot of times when they're painting, they start to, well, I know I did when I first started, I think, what the hell am I doing wrong? Well, you know what? It just went from cold to hot.
yeah,
So it can be all that's wrong.
yeah. You know, one day it's 55 degrees Fahrenheit here. The following day it's 112, 114, 120.
Absolutely.
So it definitely makes a big difference on your paints. That's pretty.
You know what? I might just leave that nice and plain. We'll see.
Okay.
And that is not the centre, Bubbles. Maybe there.
Not even close.
Not even close again. You know what? I'm going with it.
Run the gauntlet.
I like my version of the centre. I'm just pretty happy I got cells. That shows you. Year and a half out of practice with the cards.
Yeah, and that's just with a playing card.
Yep.
Really easy swipe tool.
No extra expense. Really. Let's give it a good fling. I like to punish them.
I know you do.
Especially these because see how they're getting bigger and
Yeah, big boulder cells.
they do rock my world. Now I can see, just I'm going to scrape a little bit up here for a minute off the side. Only because I can see.
The dry spot down that end.
Yep. So I'm just going to match the colour up. Just align the edges like that.
So as it spins, it runs down the side.
And then I'll give it one more. Dry gone. That simple. But you got to catch it.
Beautiful.
So, that is something really simple to do. Anyone can have a go at it and make some cool coasters for your lounge room.
Absolutely.
Or kitchen, or for friends at Christmas. And nice and simple to do, but really effective.
Absolutely.
And that's what this should all be about. Starting from scratch, getting cool effects, having some fun.
For sure.
So, are we going to pause there?
Yep, we'll pause there and I'll do one.
Oh, and before I forget, that was on a spun out pillow.
That was, yes, on a spun out pillow.
Just so people know.
Okie dokie. My go. So, with playing cards, what I usually do is put them between them two fingers. So you point a finger and your thumb and just balance it. I'll let it rest on the edge. Nice and light. So you've got about 15 degrees there. And I'll just slowly drag it over as we go. I'm not pushing down like that. I'm actually just letting it float. Give it a little wiggle as it goes. Like so. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a pillow paint down. I might do mine a little bit different to Bubbles.
Well, absolutely, because it's good to see different styles, different effects.
Yeah. So I'm going to just put a big floaty pillow on it like that. Grab some colours. Man, these are really thin with the heat. So we'll see how they work out.
I noticed that. That's the first thing I noticed, some of the colours.
Yeah, it's like
already.
What is it? It's like 45 in here or something?
Yeah, a few weeks ago you were considering thickening them up.
Yeah.
Thinning them out.
Alright, put some pink on.
I'm actually not used to seeing you with thinner paints like that.
I know. It's very rare you see it. I like nice, big, thick, chunky ones. They seem to hold cells a little bit better. See, that one's thicker.
And if you want bolder colours, they seem to not blend as...
Yeah. So when they're thicker, they don't mud into each other as easy.
Yep.
Alright, that was purple.
That's really pretty, that colour, isn't
I
it?
love it. That's actually a Montmartre tube paint, that.
That's beautiful.
Really pretty metallic. It's like a, what was it? What's it called? Pearl Purple by Montmartre. Gorgeous colour.
It's one of your favourites. You always have 2 spare tubes sitting there.
Alright, so hopefully you can see there. All I'm going to do is put the selectivator on the card. Smooth it across so everything's covered. Like that. Like so. Right, in between them 2 fingers, just let the weight of the card rest it. Little wiggle as I go.
Dance the card. Don't you just love watching cells pop up? It's really cool.
They are fun.
It really is cool.
Then what I'm going to do is grab my skewer and go.
We're going for patterns.
Put a funky pattern through it.
I love watching them, how they change from when you just put it down and start spinning.
Yeah.
Gets me every time. You're just like, woo! Oh, that's pretty.
Looking good. Alright, I've got a few little dots of white popping through. Just pop those.
Kill him. You tell him, Dal. Get out of
I
your paint.
will. Alright, we'll pop that one up. Where did I put it? There it is. Camera. There.
That's gorgeous.
And we get trippy cells and you got all wiggly bits through it.
A little bit of feature.
Yeah. Just for something different.
And something so simple to do.
Yeah.
It's so effective.
Super easy to do. You just swipe it across. If the paints were a little bit thicker, you would have got more solid looking cells. But unfortunately, in this temperature, there's not much hope for it. So
We're fighting a battle.
yes. But
We
it just,
might have to start coming out at midnight.
yeah, it's getting that
But
way.
it cools down.
But at least you can see the nice easy way of doing a swipe. Just use a playing card. You don't have to use it full width ways. You can use it end ways if you like. But remember, it's going to only do half the tile, which isn't too bad on a floaty pillow. If you only put enough pillow paint down for the width of the card, swipe across. When you spin it out, it's going to take over the whole piece anyway.
Absolutely. So only if it's a floaty pillow, though.
Yeah, only if it's a floaty pillow. If it's spun out, it won't really move very far.
So then use the full length of your card.
Exactly.
That's really cool. Loving it.
Cool bananas. Alright, we'll put that to one side and do something else for you. Okie dokie.
We are back.
We are. What are we going to do now, Bubbles?
So now what we've done is cut our cards in half. Poor ace of hearts.
2 for the price of 1.
Absolutely. Now, there's a reason why there's 2.
And they're reusable too. You just wipe the paint.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you can use it over and over again.
So, because on these ones, what we're going to show people is mini beach swipes.
Mini beach swipes on like a 4-inch coaster.
Yep.
Okay, that looks like fun.
And plus, it just, while we did the 2 cards, because we're going to use white on one, black on the other.
Right.
And I'm just going to lay a whole heap of blue down first. Okay. I'm pretty excited. I love the blues.
You do love blue.
That one's thicker. I think that was actually one I was going to thin it down a few weeks ago and then went, yeah, it's alright. Now it's good. Didn't need to touch it, winning.
Bonus.
I think so. Alright. Put a bit of a shifty blue in. Just for cool effects. I usually go with about 4 or 5 different blues for these.
Yep.
Just because with the white CA you use on the blue, it just gives some really beautiful effects, doesn't it?
It does. It gives crazy lacing. Black tends to give you bulbous cells, whereas whites tend to give you crazy lacing.
Absolutely. I'm a bit partial to the black.
I do like the black. Then again, I do like the white.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're doing and what effects you want.
Yeah. Chop and change. There's some pretty colours.
They're beautiful.
They are.
What I am going to do though,
Let's darken it up a little.
just because if I'm going to use the white CA, I really want that dark blue to pop through. Because I think that always gives it really cool effects with the white if you've got that dark colour.
Yeah.
It just makes them shine a bit brighter, I think. Well, it stands out more.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm going to need a new piece of paper towel. I'm getting all squishy.
I'll organise that.
Thank you, my darling.
No problem.
So now, I like a bit of orange in my sandy beach. Because I just think this colour with black seriously pops. Alright. And then I want to add a bit of the Barnes yellow. And I'm thinking a little bit of rocky look. I'm going to put a bit of the Pearl X Knocks down, or as anyone knows, my dirty copper.
You love that colour, don't you?
Oh, yeah. And I'm just going to do drizzles with that because it can take over.
It can.
And then, just for my highlights, Give it a bit of a sandy contrast. This little piggy, the lemon sorbet. And of course up the top I've got my Southern Ocean Blue by Matisse. Alright. We, Guru, are about to swipe.
Woohoo!
So, I'm going to start with the white.
Yep.
Only because I like to start with the white because I find that usually it takes longer to sink.
Yep.
So that way I can watch my waves appear slowly while I work on the sand.
I see.
And no one has to do that. It's just one of those things that personal preference. Okay. Let's start with the first wave. All the way to the edge, let it drip over. Now, we'll finish off our top bit. So that slight angle again. Let it rest. And just walk it through.
That's pretty.
So now, grab my other card. I must apologise, I'm not as good as you where I show people that. Just remembered, guys, sorry. And same again.
Beautiful.
So while we're doing this, we're basically just practicing our swipes because you get 4 goes at it with this.
That's right.
And I like doing it in stages like this with a beach swipe too, because that's where you get them cool wave sort of effects.
Yeah.
So just rest again, slide angle, and you feel it. Just glide across the top of your colour. No force, just let it do its thing. Pretty cool, right?
That is pretty.
So then what I might do is just grab the magic skewer
Add some waves into it.
Absolutely. And this bit where it went a bit bold, it's no big drama. That's just where I had the 2 swipes and obviously a bit too much CA hit right there. So you can just put some cool patterns through it. And when we spin that out, it'll be a-okay. Give it a good spin, always both ways. This is where we've got to start to be careful too, coming into summer with that heat, that you get cracking if you don't do it right.
Exactly.
And then again, you can get cracking here if it just dries too quick.
Yeah, you get a windy day where there's wind blowing underneath the door or something crazy like that. Air moving over the top of paint will make it crack. It's because the surface paint dries a lot quicker than the stuff underneath.
Yeah. So now I'm just checking my sides again. Any dry corners that can wreck your day. No, I'm pretty happy.
That's cool.
So there we go. Mini, simple, easy to do beach swipe 2 half playing cards.
That's lovely.
Yeah, so I think that turned out pretty cool and so simple to do, and you practice and swipes while you're at it.
Exactly. You know, there's 4 swipes in that, just with a little half a playing card.
And just getting the feel of just lightly resting that card on the colour and just letting it do its thing as you take it across. You're just being its guide.
Yeah.
You don't have to put weight on it. Just let it do its thing. Alright, so we might pause there and we'll come back and see Wombat's show-off version. He's so good at these. We'll be back.
Okie dokie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same playing cards, but what I am going to do is make a palette knife out of them. So I'm going to fold it one way and then give myself a little tab to hold on to like that. That way your hand's nowhere near the paint and you've got a nice little homemade palette knife just out of your playing card. So what we'll do is throw some colour on it. There's the play paint right there. Okay. Nozzle was all blocked up because it's dried. Okay.
I love that trick when you first made one for me like that with the bent card.
It's a cool, cheap way of having a little palette knife.
And it does make it super easy. Really super easy. Something so simple like that was a game changer for me when I was first learning how to swipe.
Yeah, it really is handy. Alright, so we'll go with this. We'll throw some colour down.
That's what I forgot. Is that Grenache?
Yeah.
I normally put that in every beach swipe. Boo!
I knew you'd forgot it, and I was going to tell you, and I thought, no.
Funny you.
I know. I'm hilarious. Alright. We'll give it some, a little sandy area, so we'll go for a little sand sort of colour.
Actually a gorgeous colour.
I know. It's delightful. Now, I will go the lemon sorbet.
I love lemon sorbet.
About there.
It's a highlight wonder for any painting.
It is. I'm going to leave out the yellow and orange.
No orange.
Going to start with this blue here. I'm going to cover the whole thing.
That's our Southern Ocean Blue Stage 2.
It is Southern Ocean Blue Stage 2 by Matisse.
Love it. Should be in every beach swipe, that colour.
I love it. So that's actually a tube paint. If you want to see how that's made, I'll throw the number up on the screen now for you. And you can check it out. Right, so now I'm going to go a darker blue.
Gorgeous colour too, isn't it?
Right, so I'm getting darker as I go back. I'm just putting little highlights through.
A lot thicker, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, way thicker.
Me loves it.
Then we've got the really dark blue for the back part. Now, you'll notice I'm getting close to the middle with all my colours because I know it's going to spin out anyway and I'll probably lose most of it because it's on a floaty pillow.
So mine went right to the edges because I had the spun out pillow.
Yeah.
I did forget to mention that again.
Yes, your pillow was spun out, mine isn't.
Bubbles is on a roll today. All those extra tips and tricks
I know, right?
that I forget.
Alright, and then we'll put another little light blue here.
That's pretty. It's like a sky blue.
Yeah. Alright, just through there.
Actually reminds me of Blue Eyes, that.
It's lovely. I like it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is get the black cell activator onto my card. Where's the camera? Over there.
So I can't do that because every time I try that I drip on the painting.
Alright, so all I'm doing is putting black on. Like that. Then I'm going to grab white cell activator. Put a drop on it. Like that. Then I'm going to start here and just go up through there like that.
Doesn't that grenache shine through beautiful?
It's gorgeous.
A really rich colour.
Then I'm going to add white for my next swipe with a tiny drop of black. Like that. Spin it round. I'm going to go swipe, swipe.
And you can be ruthless.
You can be.
But at no point are you putting heavy pressure on that.
No, it's just really light in my fingertips and just
Light as a feather and slide.
yeah, in between two fingers. Nice and light, just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Right, I'll speed the white up. That. Grab my little skewer. Then what I'm going to do is put some waves through like Bubbles did.
Because it's a beach swipe.
Then what I'll usually do through this section is just add little waves for feature. Like that. A little sideways type movement down this end. Scrape some of that off. Okay. Yeah, we'll give that a spin. So what I'll usually do is start off in the middle, let it start moving, doing its thing, and then see whether we get more blue or more of the sand area.
And then you can just move it to suit what effect you're going for, can't you?
Exactly. That turned out pretty cool. So if I wanted more of the ocean and less of the sand bit, what I'd do is just move it off center a bit. That means the weight of the paint is want to throw it off this way, and we'll end up with more blue and less sand area. So we'll give that a spin. Just be careful when you've got anything on the spinner that's not in the middle, because it's going to want to take off.
So nice and gentle.
Alright, see how now we've got more blue. This has moved. It's pretty. So you can see how much paint's come off. There's no blue come off. all the sand area came off. That's because it was off center and was able to move. Alright, I'll pop that one up.
Love the gorgeous little effects through here.
Yeah. And then you got a cool little beach
Really
swipe.
pretty.
So you can chop and change your colours, do different things.
You can even have a sunset up the top if you like. Do some reds. It's all up to you.
That's right. You can add all sorts of things.
But good place to start. Mini beach swipes.
Mini beach swipes. They're a load of fun. Just chop and change colours, see what you come up with. But they're a lot of fun. Alright guys, that is it from us today.
It is.
Hopefully that was some sort of help for you. If it was, hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let us know whether you thought it was cool or not. Okay. That's it.
That is us. Until next week with the next swipe adventure.
Yep, so next week we'll do another swipe one that we can add to a playlist, and you can just play them one after another through a little playlist.
And pick up those tips and tricks that hopefully help you get some zingers.
Exactly. Alright guys, have fun, take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Have a fantastic day.